morning students. In last class we have studied about joint Hindu family and about Karta as well as about partnership, types of partner, dissolution of partners, all those things. Today we are going to see about the 6th chapter, that is 6th lesson, joint stock company. So in joint stock company, first we have to study about the meaning and as well as the definition of joint stock company, types of joint stock company, the act relating to joint stock company, limited liability, what is the meaning of limited liability, advantages of joint stock company, as well as about disadvantages of joint stock company. First let us go to see the meaning of joint stock company. Good afternoon students. In morning session we have studied about joint stock company. Okay. Today, in our afternoon section we are going to see about cooperative organization. This is the 7th lesson in your book. So first we are going to see about meaning of cooperative societies and types of cooperative societies, limited liabilities of members of the cooperative societies and advantages of cooperative societies as well as disadvantages of cooperative societies. Now let us see about meaning of cooperative societies in cooperative organization. Meaning and definitions of cooperative organizations. Okay, so what is the meaning of cooperative organization? Cooperative organization is a form of business organization which is owned and controlled by the people who use its products, supplies or services. That is, it's formed by a group of people, that is, who owned and controlled by the people who use its product and supplies or services. Okay, so in 1844 in England, 28 weavers, Rockdale pioneers, started the first ever cooperative society in England. That is, first ever cooperative society is started by Rockdale pioneers in England in the year 1844. Okay, so cooperative society is a voluntary association formed by people in order to fulfill his needs. That is the meaning of cooperative societies. Okay. So here they said that at first cooperative movement was started by Robert Owen in the year 1844. He formed a consumer cooperative society in England with 28 workers. That is, the members of that cooperative society is 28 workers. Therefore, it is called as Rockdale Society of Equitable Pioneers. That is, they are sharing the profit among themselves. That is, whatever it comes, they are sharing among themselves. So, definition. It is a form of organization. Cooperation is a form of organization in which person voluntarily associate. That is, they are voluntarily associate among themselves together as human being on the basis of equality for the promotion of the economic interests of themselves. That is, they are starting the cooperative society in order to satisfy his needs, to fulfill his needs. Okay, that is the meaning of this definition. Okay, cooperation is better farming, better business and better living. This is a definition given by Sir Horace Plunkett. Okay, now we are going to see about some examples of cooperative society. One is Indian Coffee House, the next one is Mother Dairy, Sri Mahila Griha Udyog Lijat Papat and Indian Farmers. So all are the some examples for cooperative societies. Then we are going to see about principles of cooperative society. So the first principle is voluntary and open membership. Second one is related to democratic member control. Third one, members' economic participation, autonomy and interdependence. Then fifth one, education, training and information, cooperation among cooperatives and concern for community. These are the 7 principles of cooperative society. First we are going to see about the first principle, voluntary and open membership. That is, here the members are voluntarily joining the cooperative society. That is, they are starting the cooperative society. That is, it is open for all who are willing to contribute some amount as membership fees without their gender, social, racial or political or religious discrimination. That is, there is no discrimination among people. So it is open for all. Anyone can join in this cooperative society voluntarily. This is the first principles of cooperative society. Then second one is democratic member control. That is, here the policy followed is democratic organization controlled by their members who buy the goods or use the services of cooperative and participate in setting policies and making decisions. That is, no one is controlled by any other persons. They are acting democratically. So next one is about members' economic participations. So they contribute equal amount for the benefit of the cooperative society. This benefit members in proportion to the business they conduct with the cooperative rather than on the capital invested. That is, they are participating in the management of the business equally in order to reduce the cost. That is, members' economic participation. The next one is about autonomy and interdependence. So cooperative society is a autonomous one. Okay, here the self-help, it is, we may say it is a self-help organization controlled by their member. So here there is no they are interdepending the others. That is the point given here. The next one is about education, training and informations. So cooperatives provide education and training also to the members and also to the elected representative, manager, employees, whatever it is, they are giving some training to their employees or representative according to their, in order to contribute their effectiveness to the development of the cooperative societies. Then members also inform the general public about the nature and benefits of the cooperatives. That is, they are informed about the nature as well as the benefit of the cooperative society. That is, the training is given to the employees, the elected representative as well as to the members of the cooperative society. Then cooperation among cooperatives. So cooperatives serve their members most effectively and strengthen the cooperative movement. Here they are working together, okay, with working together through local, national, regional and international structures. Then concern for the communities. So this is a voluntary organization. They are starting the cooperative societies by concerning for the community. Then these are the 7 principles of cooperative society. Next one about futures of cooperative society. The first future is voluntary membership. Already I said that about anyone can join in the cooperative societies because it is open for all. Therefore, voluntary membership, equal rights. Each and everyone is treated as equal. So one man, one vote is followed here. That is, if you are having any number of shares, for example, if you are 10 shares, then also you are getting 1 vote. If you are having only 1 share, then also you are getting only 1 vote. That is, one man, one vote. So here they followed the equal rights of each and every members. Then democracy. The next one is about future is democracy. Already I said the principle of democracy is adopted here. The decision of the majority is honored. That is, the decision of the majority people is taken into consideration while taking decision regarding the business. Then honesty. It is the basic principles of this society. Its members should be honest. That is, the main principles of cooperative society is each and everyone, that is the members, should be honest in order to run the cooperative society effective manner. Then mutual confidence. Each and every members of the societies having mutual confidence, trust on each other and work like a team. They are working like a team. Welfare is the main objectives of cooperative societies. Then cash payment. There is no credit is given here. Only cash payment. Credit team is prohibited. So only cash payment is allowed. That is, cash sales is allowed. Economy. The member of the society should act upon the principles of economy. That is, how to reduce the cost of the cooperative societies. So they should not misuse the capital of the societies and keep in view best interest of the society. Then distribution of profit. The profit can be distributed among the members according to the Cooperative Act. That is, 1/4 of the profit can be kept as a reserve, and 10% of the profit can be used for providing the facility to the members. Then self-service. All the business activities are conducted by the members of themselves. Therefore, self-service rules will employed in this organization. So these are the 10 features of cooperative societies. The first one is about voluntary membership, equal rights, democracy, honesty, mutual confidence, welfare main objectives, cash payment, economy, distribution of profit, self-service. So these are the 10 features of cooperative societies. Next, we are going to see about the advantages of cooperative societies. The first advantages is voluntary organization. Again and again we are saying the same things. It is open for all. Any person who is voluntarily joined in the cooperative society if he has common interest. Okay, so the membership, the fees also very less, so everyone would be able to join and benefit from cooperative society. At the same time, any member who wants to leave the society is free to do so. That is, you may join as a member, then anytime you may leave the membership, that is from the societies. So there is no entry or exit barriers. That is no entry barriers as well as exit barriers. Anyone, it is open for all at any time. That is the voluntary organization. Here, this is the first advantages of cooperative society. Then easy formation. It is very easy to form a cooperative societies. Any 25 members, the minimum is any 25 members who attain majority can join together and form a cooperative societies. And they have to follow some legal formalities in order to form a cooperative society. That the formation also very easy. It is not tough as a joint stock company. Then the rule of democracy is followed. That is, one man, one vote. The poor and rich are treated as one and the same in cooperative societies. So no one control over others. So the affairs of the members with money power cannot dominate the management by buying majority shares, because if you have 1,000 shares, then also you are getting only one vote. That is, one man one vote principles is followed in cooperative society. This is the biggest advantages of cooperative society. Then equal distribution of surplus. So what is meant by surplus? The profit of the organization is known as surplus. It is equally distributed among the members of the societies without any variation. Therefore, the surplus amount is equally distribution among the members of the cooperative society. The society is also benefited because the sum not exceeding 10% of the surplus can be utilized for promoting the value of the locality in the cooperative society. That is, it is kept as a reserve. 10% is kept as a reserve in order to maintain the welfare of the cooperative society. Then the liability. In a joint stock company also we see about limited liability. Here also they said about limited liability. That is, the liability of the members in a cooperative society is limited. So they cannot personally liable for the debt of the society. The next one is about separate legal entity. So it enjoys a separate legal entity which is distinct from its member. That is, so the members and the cooperative society is different one. Okay, so it enjoys the advantages of separate legal entity. So there is no way affected by the death or insanity or insolvency of the members. So it enjoys perpetual existence. Then each for all and all for each. So it is based on the principle that self-help and mutual help. Therefore, members contribute their efforts to promote their common welfare of the society. Then greater identity of interest. So each of them giving equal rights, therefore their interests are more. Here each and every members taking efficient steps in order to grow the cooperative societies. Then government support. The government also supporting the cooperative society and extend all support to them. It provides loan as well as the cheap interest rate, and it provides some subsidy also. Then elimination of middleman. So in cooperative society there is no middleman, because they are purchasing the product from the producers and distribute the goods to the a member of the societies, that is to the consumer. Therefore, they are not dependent on the middleman and can save the profit enjoyed by the middleman. Okay, middleman, who are the middleman? The wholesaler, a retailer, all are comes under the category of middleman. Okay, next we are going to deal about tax concession. In case of joint into family, the tax rate is high. Here, the government is giving some tax concessions for the up movement of the cooperative society, to promote the cooperative movement of the society. So the government gives some tax concessions. Okay, this is one of the advantages. The next we are going to see about rural credit. That is the 12th advantages as well as the last advantages, rural credit. The cooperatives provide loans at cheaper interest and benefited the rural community. So after the establishment cooperatives, the rural people are able to come out of the grip of money lenders. That is, they are getting the loan at a cheap rate from the cooperative societies. It helps the rural peoples to come out of the grip of the money lenders. Then next we are going to see about disadvantages. The first disadvantages is relating to limited funds, because the membership fee is very low. Therefore, the fund created by the cooperative society is very less. This is one of the disadvantages of cooperative society. The next disadvantages is over relief on government funds. That is, the government giving some subsidies to the cooperative societies. Therefore, they are depending on the fund of the government. So cooperative society are not able to raise their own resources. Their sources of financing are limited and they depend on government funds. So next we are going to see about the imposed by government. That is, some Western countries cooperative societies are voluntarily started by the weaker section. The objective is to improve their economic status. Then benefit to rural rich. Sometimes it is beneficial to the rural rich people. That is, they are getting some benefit through these cooperative societies. They do not have any surplus to market. The rich farmers with vast tracts of land produce in surplus quantity and services the cooperative society, such as processing, grading, then correct weightment. All those things comes under this category. Then inadequate rural credit. The fifth topic is inadequate rural credit. So here they say that cooperative have not been successful in freeing the rural poor from the clutches of the moneylender, because sometimes the loan is given only to the productive purposes, okay, not for personal or family expenses. Then lack of managerial skill. Sometimes the members of the managing committee may not have the required qualification, skill or experience, so it has limited financial resources. Its ability to compensate its employees is also limited. Therefore, it cannot employ the best talent, and lack of managerial skill result in insufficient management, poor functioning and difficulty in achieving the objectives of the cooperative society. Then government interventions. So cooperative society are subject to excessive government regulations, because the government is giving some subsidies and as well as some loans to the cooperative societies. So it is under the control of the government interventions. Misuse of funds. Sometimes most of the cooperative societies are misusing their funds. Its members of the managing committee are corrupt. They can swindle the funds of the cooperative society. Inefficient leading to loss. Sometimes the inefficiency of the members of the cooperative society may lead to loss. Lack of secrecy. So there are nearly 25 members. So the secret of the cooperative society is leaked out sometimes. Therefore, information relating to activities, revenue members, etc. become public knowledge. Then conflicts. What is the meaning of conflict? Some problems among the members. So cooperative society face some problems among the members which may lead to dispute. Such disputes affect the functioning of the cooperative society. Then limited scope. The scope here, because the fund also very limited, the cooperative society cannot be introduced in all the industries, because the fund availability is very low in this case of cooperative society. Next, we are going to see about the types of cooperative society. The first one is about consumer cooperative society. It is organized by the consumer that want to achieve better prices or quality. That is, they are getting their product at better price as well as good quality. So, in contrast to traditional retail stores or service provider. So, here one picture is there relating to consumer cooperative societies. Next, producer cooperative societies are established and operated by the producer. The producer can decide to work together as a separate entity to help in increase marketing possibilities and production efficiency. Then marketing cooperatives. The next one is about marketing cooperatives. Here, the cooperative marketing societies are associative of small producer. They are formed for the purpose of marketing their product. In order to market their product, they are starting the cooperative society. Then credit cooperatives. In credit cooperative stores, credit cooperative societies, some short-term and long-term fund is available to the members. For example, for the agriculturists, artisan, industrial workers, salaried employees, all of them getting credit facilities from this type of cooperative societies. And the next one is about housing cooperatives. So the word itself mentioned that it is given as a housing loan. Okay, housing loan is provided to the cooperative societies, that is members of the cooperative societies. They are providing some housing loans for residential accommodation to their members of the owners basis or on rent. People who intend to build houses of their own join together and form housing society. This society advances loan to members repayable over a period of 15 to 20 years. You may repay the loan 15 to 20 years. The member tenant, however, can own the houses after paying the cost. Then cooperative farming societies. So when various farmers in a village pool their land together and agree to treat the pooled piece of land as one big farm for the purpose of cultivation, and they are starting a cooperative farming society. The office bears look after the proper cultivation of new farm that emerges after the land various farmers have been pooled. So regarding this, we finished the lesson. That is, we see about what is the meaning of cooperative societies. That is, it is first started by the Rockdale in England in 1844 with 28 members. Then after that, they said about the principles of cooperative society as well as the definitions of cooperative society. Principle, we see about nearly 7 principles of cooperative societies: voluntary and open membership, democratic member control, members economic participation, consent for community, all those things. Next, we are see about the futures of cooperative society. The futures of cooperative society include voluntary membership, equal rights, democracy, honesty, mutual confidence, welfare main objectives, all those things. Then we see about the advantages: voluntary organization, easy formation, democracy, limited liability, separate legal entity, and rural credit. Okay. Then disadvantages regarding the limited funds imposed by the governments, over reliance on government funds, all those things comes under disadvantages. Next, we see about the types of cooperative society. Here it is one tabular column is given regarding the cooperative society, that is types of cooperative societies. It is consumer cooperative societies. Next one is about producer cooperative society, marketing cooperative societies, and credit cooperative society, housing cooperative society, and cooperative farming society. Okay, students. So we finished nearly 7 lessons for your September monthly exams. Second and third lesson. Your portion for the September monthly exam is second and third lesson. So write all the question and answer up to fourth lesson in your assignment note. That is second, third as well as fourth lesson in your assignment note. Thank you, students. Prepare well.